Good day, everyone, on a beautiful mid-October day here in upstate New York, Western New York. Really upstate New York, though, to be honest. And this is to prove that I actually do listen and follow comments, because I'm in Watertown, New York, a town I didn't even know existed. As I say many times when I'm exploring these regions around the Great Lakes and my sort of home region, at least my American home region, as I don't live in the States, but this is pretty close to my home. Actually, it's 2 hours away. But that's besides the point. I listened to my viewers, and one bug-eyed viewer, at least the emoji attached to the comment, said, you should visit Watertown. So I'm here. I don't know why, other than I'm stopping on my way down south to another theme park. So here we are in Watertown, just to check out the sights for about an hour. Now, the reason why I was asked to come down here was not for a good reason, I would say, as I was promised some pretty eye-opening urban decay in this town. So far, it doesn't look so. We are on the Veterans Memorial Riverwalk currently, which, to be honest, is super picturesque. It's a Friday morning here. It's not very active. Watertown's major attraction, which is the waterfall here. It's actually man-made. It actually has parts that are natural and man-made elements. I believe it used to be a power station, as you've got this structure built right in next to it. And it is called Watertown, so it wouldn't really make much sense if they weren't using the water to its advantage here, that's for sure. It does strike me as remarkable how all these small towns, well, not really remarkable if you know the history behind it, but there are so many churches in these small towns and smaller cities north of here in Canada and also here in upstate New York that are just magnificent and just a reflection of, you know, a much more optimistic past, let's say, that took pride in its buildings. So much so that buildings that have long since been built and demolished have long gone, I'm sure, even from this town, yet they still have magnificent churches, and always like really close together as well in one section of town or the other. So we have next to us here the United Methodist Church, which I had to just come check out because the tower and the spire is just impressive, and unlike any type of church that I've really seen before. It's not really my place to go inside. Sometimes we go in the churches, sometimes we don't, but these smaller ones, respectfully, probably should stay out there. I was raised Roman Catholic, so I don't know. I don't know if that's a big deal. I'm not going to say that Watertown has lived up to my presumptions, in which they were somewhat unfortunate. I thought this was going to be a very run-down town, and I haven't really seen much of that. I've seen worse examples in other parts of New York State. I'm not really sure what the industry is in this town. It's definitely remote. Closer inspection of the buildings reveal some unfortunate details of their rundown nature. However, I've seen a lot worse examples in other cities. We got Watertown City Hall here. These municipal buildings, you never really think there's a point in going inside. We have the Dulles State Office Building. Now I wonder, that is a very large roof without windows. What do they store up there? Then you have this massive edifice on this side too. This is actually Flower Library, the Flower Memorial Library, which is actually on the other side, the entrance. The inside's that impressive, but the art center here is hidden in the trees. It is a nice neoclassic building, however, it's completely obscured by construction and trees, so we're going to give it a pass. We're getting to the center of town here. Well, we are in the center of town without question. You can see that the architecture here is actually very decent. Again, with these Western New York towns that people say have a bad reputation. Sure, there's a little bit going on in the background, but I find it relatively clean and well put together here. First of all, I fully recognize that the outskirts of these towns are definitely not reflective of what you see on the inside, because town councils definitely put an effort towards revitalizing their downtown communities or their central cores for the benefit of the community, but also aesthetics and to draw people in. So I'm sure Watertown is one of those examples, because I'm really surprised. I thought I was going to come into a pretty, shifty little town, and it turns out this is a really picturesque, really welcoming and beautiful town. So yeah, there's really not anything unique about it compared to any other town around here. And there are other places like Syracuse, which I'll be in a moment, Binghamton, Rochester. All these places are much better served for your tourism experience, I would say, for sure. However, if you're passing through, you might as well have lunch and have a stroll around Watertown if you're interested in this sort of, American colonial architecture, early British influences, etc., because it's well preserved here and definitely worth checking out. That's Watertown for you, or at least a snippet of the downtown from what I've been able to discover on this brief visit. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely comment below. This is a fish out of water vlog, as I always try to say, so I'm not an expert on the history of Watertown, and I'm sure there's a lot more to discuss about it. I don't come to these towns for an official tour. I'm only passing through for an hour while going from another point, so that's why I don't have a tour guide per se doing this tour. I'm sure those exist on YouTube anyway, and I definitely endorse checking those out. But for now, thank you everyone for watching along with me, at least, as I discover this town for the first time. We might see you in a small town while I'm exploring, or we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for dropping in.